back to my channel. I'm back today with another video. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to eat my dinner while we watch this. It's just garlic knots, so it's not going to be anything annoying. Like when I was eating cheese puffs that whole video. Sorry about that. Anyway, so I'm probably going to lose my appetite, and I'm probably going to regret watching this video at all. But one of my past videos, they talked about this Smartschoolboy9 person, and I just remember being so scared of this dude. You guys know not much scares me, right? Like, I'm not scared of ghosts. I'm not scared of any of that. Tornadoes, maximum security inmates. I worked on death row for, it was like a year. Not much scares me. This stuff scares me, okay? This kind of thing scares me. So we're going to go ahead and watch this video by Nick Crowley. I really like his channel. And we're just going to get a little more info on this because I feel like this is probably something that we should have eyes on, because the last thing we would want is for someone to be dangerous when it comes to our children, and we saw the signs and we didn't at least say something about it. So hopefully this will call a little bit of attention to this, what I assume is an issue. So without further ado, make sure you like and subscribe, and let's go ahead and get to the video. I hope I don't lose my appetite. Probably will.
Creepy accounts pretending to be kids. I came across a reel randomly, and it's led me down this weird rabbit hole of people using AI or dressing up pretending to go to school. They all seem to have high heels, check images in them. Is this an age play thing or something more sinister? Literally anything helps as I keep trying to look for answers.
Age play is a little sinister anyway.
This post was made to the subreddit r/Instagram by the user numerouscut792 on April 15th, 2024. It featured screenshots of 3 bizarre-looking Instagram pages they had encountered earlier that day, with OP expressing concern that something truly disturbing was happening with these users. And those in the thread agreed. What the actual fuck? Found all of them and blocked them all. Truthsticks11 is seriously creepy to me. I've been trying to find more about them, but can hardly find anything. Very weird account to say the least. The 3 accounts apparently belong to 3 different children. However, when combing through their posts, the content seems to imply something much more bizarre was afoot. Something truly disturbing. This post would be the start of a story that would eventually be picked up and shared all across the online world, becoming one of the more notorious internet mysteries in recent memory, as these accounts revealed an unending rabbit hole that is still being traversed to this very day, in an ongoing investigation into one of the most depraved oddities ever found on Instagram. This is the emerging story of Smartschoolboy9.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm already scared. I don't like this.
We'll return after these messages.
Before we get too far down this rabbit hole, I want to first thank today's sponsor, AG.
Number 1, Truthsticks11.
Beautiful boy, an account looked after by me, a degree-educated mother choosing to stay anonymous. This was the bio of the first account pictured in the Reddit post, an account named Truthsticks11, which was said to be operated by a 12-year-old boy and his mother. Back in October of 2021, the duo would make their very first post, kicking things off on a somewhat concerning note, though not for their own page, but instead another account on the platform.
So, that's the account run by a man pretending to be a boy.
The video was created and posted by the mother for the sole purpose of warning others of a specific user who had been posing as a child online when, in actuality, he was a grown man who did this in order to get close to and exploit other children across the platform. It's the grim reality of this online world, as predators will do just about anything to get closer to children, and it's a reality often unrealized or even ignored by parents, which makes it almost refreshing that this mother was out here trying to raise awareness. These posts would become the crux of the account early on. They would call out this user and their many accounts again and again, eventually going more in depth about what this person would actually do, claiming that they had a strange perversion to dressing up as a young schoolboy.
In my
Does
facility,
he wish he were a
so
young
we were
boy
very
in a school
careful.
classroom, looking nice and being
My daughter,
successful at
she's
school?
smart. She would never.
Yes. This theme of calling out online predators would remain consistent throughout the years on Truthsticks 11.
Excuse me.
However, after some time, the mother behind the account began to use the page for its initially intended purpose,
Allergies.
to share photos of her son. The photos began reasonably normal, and would show this young boy studying at school, accepting awards from their principal, and even school presentations in which their son had attended, with the captions often
He had
boasting
different
about how
colored hair in
intelligent
all
the
those
young
pictures.
boy was. Though over time, the photos began to grow stranger.
Oh god. Oh no. Oh god.
They looked off, almost as if they were AI generated. And on top of this, they began to appear heavily edited in an almost inexplicable manner, with deep red lipstick often being
this is
added,
making me
which was
lose my
enunciated
appetite.
by his face being turned pure white. This unsettling trend would continue from here, as with each passing post, the photos grew less authentic and more surreal.
Ah! It's like something from Eric Andre. Or like Tim and Eric Awesome Show, great job.
Until they became straight up disturbed, even sickening. These bizarre edits spilled over past just the images too, as the posts began to appear as disjointed collages, often showcasing multiple grotesque images and paragraphs about how much this user loved school. And this wasn't the only shift either.
I don't think I'm
At some
hungry
point,
anymore.
the son behind the account began posting content that allegedly came directly from him, saying things like, "My really cool mom asked me if I'd like to post, and I said, yes please." He even shared supposed videos that he had filmed of himself,
My
which
really
were
cool
equally
mother
as
would be like the
unconvincing as his
first red flag
photos,
for me.
and
Well, it
somehow
wouldn't be the first
even
one,
more
but-
chilling.
I don't like my mom, so. Oh my god. Oh my god. I hate it. I hate it.
The boy even shows
hate
off
it.
his singing in one of the clips.
I hate it. This person has psychological problems.
Though their voice sounds off. The account was overall anomalous and extremely off-putting. And though this content was visually alarming, another aspect made it even more so concerning, as over time, many of the images began to resemble CP, showcasing
Oh,
these
no.
fake AI children in explicit positions,
Oh, no,
with their
no,
faces
no.
sometimes even being photoshopped onto scantily
Oh no
dressed
no no
adult
no no
bodies.
no no no.
One thing is blatantly obvious about the Truthsticks
I found that at
account.
work one
The
time.
supposed child
I was
behind
searching
it
an
is
inmate's
not
property.
real. Even
I
in
was
the
like,
more
I need to
passable
go
photos
home.
at the very beginning, there's evidence to
it made me
suggest that
sick.
these were likely AI as well. And based on the
I
disturbed,
deal with these
borderline
people all the
illegal
time.
content that this page featured, it seemed more than likely that whoever was
You
behind
guys,
this
this
page
is so
was
much
not an
more
innocent
common
mother
than you would
concerned for
think.
the welfare of other children, but instead, a predatory individual themselves. And this wasn't their only account. The second page featured on the Reddit post belonged to a user named GirlChloe12 and bore striking similarities to Truthsticks. The page was also supposedly run by a child and monitored by their parent. Bizarrely, they also posted frequently about the dangers of online predators, with the wording of these posts and the editing being essentially the exact same as Truthsticks, just not as over the top. These two accounts even frequently interacted with each other, thus providing a substantial link on its own. But by far the most compelling link between these
I hate
pages
it!
is
I
one
hate
that
it!
is easy to miss at a glance.
I hate
With
it.
that being a
Why does he have a bowl
obsession
cut? That's almost the
with
worst part.
high-heeled mini boots. These shoes were mentioned or shown in virtually every single post made by these two users. At playtime, I'm sometimes running around with my really cool heeled footwear I wear with my uniform. After coming home from school, education isn't
Ew,
over for the day
ew,
once the
ew,
blue blazer,
ew, ew,
gray
ew,
jersey,
ew,
neat
ew,
tie,
ew.
white shirt, tailored close-fit gray trousers,
Oh my god,
and
ew.
black
It's
heeled
getting
mini
more
boots are in the
fetishy. Oh,
wardrobe.
gross. Oh,
No matter
god.
what they discussed, school uniforms and mini boots were always a talking point, which adds confirmation to something that is already becoming apparent.
This is making me nauseous.
This is fetish content. Not too unlike
Yeah,
the
that's
bizarre
what I
accounts
said.
in the Pipergate rabbit hole. Fetish content centered around children. And what makes the Chloe account so disturbing is that AI was seemingly not used, and rather, the images seem to be of actual children. Despite
What,
this
did he go in, like,
disturbing
Microsoft
distinction,
Paint?
these two accounts are cut from the same cloth, and all signs point to them being created by the same person. A person who, despite their constant warnings of the dangers of adults pretending to be children online, seems to be doing the exact same thing, as part of some sort of fetish, the extent of which we'll discuss later. But for now, one thing was for certain. These pages were not run by children. or their parents.
No shit.
So, who created them? Well, that brings us to our third and final account shown in that initial post. Our third and final account shown in that initial post.
Okay.
Smartschoolboy9 was much the same as the other two accounts. They warned of online predators, obsessed over high-heeled mini boots and school uniforms, and posed as a child despite clearly not being one. But Smart Schoolboy was different in one key aspect. The person behind the account was pretending to be a child, but they were doing so in a much more apparent manner, as they didn't use AI or stolen images of other kids to form their identity. And instead, they used photos of themselves. In the images posted on the account, we see what appears to be a fully grown man, dressed in a schoolboy's uniform. His face is painted pure white and has bright red lipstick, and he's, of course, wearing high heels.
I feel like
boots,
nauseous.
characteristics that were all utilized across the other accounts, only this time it was done on himself, as he poses as a child, pretending to go to school, as well as pretending to go through other life events common for preteens. And the photos aren't even the most disturbing part, as the account consists primarily of videos.
Oh. School up. Let me know if you like school as well.
Why does he kind of sound like a British Gypsy Rose?
The videos are all incredibly off-putting. Some show him arriving home from school.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No, that's all I can hear.
Others show him claiming to be on the bus heading towards school.
I can't stand her.
Okay.
What is going on with this like acid trip type?
And other videos
Like, did
showing
he film
him
this
doing
on a fucking
whatever this
LG
is.
from 2011? What the fuck? Oh no, I hate it. I hate it.
With these strange sounds and the process of sticking his tongue out appearing to be part of his fetish.
Ew, 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 ew. Oh my god, no,
As
stop.
much like the other accounts, his content is overtly sexual, in its own bizarre way.
Oh, help, I hate
In fact,
it.
there's a video of him with his full outfit on, where he shows himself staring into a mirror as he appears to pleasure himself
What is
right out of view of the camera, as he stares into his own eyes. This
every
account
time
is
I think
by
it
far
could
the
get
most
worse, it
sickening
does.
part of this whole rabbit hole, and also the most important.
I was just like,
Interspersed
gonna
throughout his
ask what was
page
wrong
are a
with
few
this
examples
part.
of what this
Oh my
individual's
God.
voice sounds like,
This is quite good.
This is so stressful.
which just so happens to be the same voice heard in the very first clip shown on the Truth Sticks account,
Man pretending to be a boy.
meaning that this full-grown adult man is the one behind
Sorry,
this entire
UK, you
rabbit
can deal
hole.
with them.
He's the one on these accounts pretending to be a child and their mother, getting
I
some
got
sort
enough
of
of
sick
dudes like this in
satisfaction
the
from
prison.
whatever this is. And the worst part is, these activities aren't just kept behind closed doors.
I don't even think I
As we
had
can
any.
see on
I mean, I
numerous
had some
occasions,
real
videos of
creeps,
him
but
walking
I don't
around
think I had
outside in
anyone
a
this
public
scary.
space, with his full outfit and face paint
Like
on.
this blatant.
Good at school.
He looks like he got stung by a bee or like ate a peanut and he was allergic to it.
It's truly one of the strangest
Like, he
things
looks
that
like
I've
he's
ever
having an
seen.
allergic
And making
reaction.
sense of
I
what
will-
this all is
I will
extremely
shame you
difficult.
if you
but
act
based on
like
the
this.
information found from this first Reddit post, a few likely conclusions can be put forward. This man is clearly attracted to the idea of being a kid, and I think OP was correct when they speculated that this was some sort of age play thing, but it's also clearly much more than that too, as based on the images that he's created himself, he clearly has some sort of attraction to other children as well, as he's quite literally created faux CP, the likes of which is so disturbing that I can't even really describe it here
Yeah,
either.
please don't.
He's creating fetish content, and he's using the likeness of children, and also some children that are clearly very real people, to do so. That much is obvious. But there was also the possibility that he was pretending to be a kid in order to exploit other children across the internet. At this point, though, this was merely speculation, with much of
Hopefully
the Smart
children are
Schoolboy9
smarter
case
than that.
remaining a mystery. And the rabbit
I
hole
know
is
mine
only
is.
getting deeper from here. Months after this rabbit hole was introduced to the online world, the story began to be shared all across the internet, most notably on the r/internet mysteries subreddit, where the case really took off. There, internet sleuths began uncovering just how vast this web of accounts
Man, if you need
actually
something
was,
figured out,
as
put it on
wasn't just
Reddit.
these 3 pages. No, there seemed to be over
People
a dozen,
will
and likely
people
even
will
more
find
that we
out
still haven't
real
found.
fast.
As he's created his own sort of community, his own little world, where across each page he pretends to be a child. With these accounts typically following each other and frequently interacting, seemingly to make these characters appear as though they have real friends. On one of these pages, 12 Stockwell Joanne, he poses as a 14-year-old girl, using more AI images to depict explicit positions of this manufactured child, which I obviously am not going to show here.
Yeah,
Though much
thank
like
you.
his Chloe
I
account,
don't need to see
he also
anymore.
shows images of very real young girls. But this isn't the most concerning part of this account, as on numerous occasions, he's
It's
shown
not?
images of children at a playground.
Oh, hell no. I'm so
Which
glad me
he
and my
may have
daughter never
taken
go
himself.
anywhere.
This fantasy of
Because
being a
you
schoolgirl
shouldn't
and
have to
taking
be
part in
worried
these
about
school-centric
taking your kid to the
activities is
playground
something
because
carried
of
over
fucking
throughout
creeps
multiple
like
of his
this.
accounts, with his most common alias being Stephanie.
I
of
can't
which he
even
has
tell you what
numerous
I think
different
should happen to
accounts
these
featuring
people
that
on here
same
because I would get
name.
in trouble.
Yeah, I'm Stephanie.
He didn't even try
This
with Stephanie.
character claims to be a 12-year-old
She
aspiring
looks
poet, with
like he
accounts
drew
all
her
across
in
the
paint.
internet.
She
many
looks
of
like
which
Dr.
showcasing
Roxo, the
examples
rock
of
and
her
roll
poetry,
clown.
which carries on those same
do
distinct
cocaine,
sexual undertones.
yeah.
I race to complete my poems when I've got an early start. Heart racing, mixed rhythms, maximizing miracles, rice with rap, and on the map. My Kennington, London syllables. Dancing though I know my underwear might show if I lean forward. Good. Stephanie Stansfield, 12. But digging even deeper, her poetry has even seemingly been featured in various articles and even newspapers, showcasing that this rabbit hole extends far past just the online world. This act is clearly their obsession, and he's been doing this for years, with the earliest examples that I could find coming from all the way back in 2018. And this Stephanie character seems to be his go-to alias, embodying it in even the literal sense.
Ah! Oh my god, it's like Buffalo Bill. I hate it. It's like literally like BTK.
As in one of his many pages dedicated
Oh,
to
he
this
reminds me of
Stephanie
BTK.
character,
Ugh.
he dresses as her, wearing a wig and a dress. As he
That was
pretends
one of
to be
the
a
guys I
12-year-old
dealt
girl.
with in death row. It was
Almost
BTK would dress
immediately
up
after
and
this
he'd
case began gaining
put like
traction,
masks
the true
on and like
magnitude of this
it was
rabbit hole was revealed. Across every single account are countless depraved posts and oddities that all could warrant discussion. But by far the most important discoveries were those that didn't actually occur on his own page,
Oh,
and
no.
rather the pages of other actual children.
Ah, no, 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 no,
Do you
no,
like
no,
school?
no, no.
I do. It is good. You have some cool shirts, but I have to wear school uniforms to school. It is nice, but casual isn't allowed, and it's quite hot here in the UK, as the month of June suddenly got warmer. These are 2 examples out of many that show Smartschoolboy9 reaching out and attempting to befriend young children online. In one comment, he even warns a child about other comments from bad people, stating that
Come
"It
on,
happens
bro,
to
be
most
so
boys
for
in our
fucking
age
real."
group, but stay safe, stay cool, don't be dismayed by creeps."
Like you?
This is our best evidence that these accounts weren't just made for age play. No, he's actually posing as a child in order to make friends with other children. And given his overtly sexual interests and aversion to CP, it's not hard to gather why he was doing this. And these examples are only what we found so far. It's possible that there are dozens, or who knows, maybe even hundreds of other comments out there, hidden on unknown children's accounts. This
is why my kid
predatory
can't have
behavior.
social media.
The man behind Schoolboy9 is a predator. And in case there was
Yeah.
still any doubt of whether or not this was a sexual thing, here's what he had to say about being a 13-year-old girl.
Oh.
But have his tactics actually worked? Well, the frightening thing is, no one knows if he's actually been successful or not, or even what specifically he's looking for. We just know that he's trying to reach kids, as evidenced not only by his comments, but by the fact that he's solely following children on all of these pages.
Oh my god.
And though it's easy to look at these accounts and know that something is off, for children, it's not that simple, especially when there's pages showcasing photos of actual kids. Which brings up another frightening detail. Many of the images he's used of children have not been traced back to their original creator, and some seem to appear for the
Don't
very
put your
first time
kids on online,
publicly
man, because of
on
this
man's
shit.
pages, which
Like,
might
yeah,
mean
it
that he was
sucks
sent
that like
them
we can't
privately.
post our kids for
There's
our
even
friends
one
and
image
family,
that
but
David
like
posted on his
until
Schoolboy
we
account,
can
which shows another kid
be sure
he
that they'll
claimed
be
to
safe,
on a
you
play
just
date with,
can't even
though it's
risk it.
impossible to say if this is real or not. For now, we just don't know for sure. Though given the fact that he's reaching out to children, posting fetish content centered around children, and has even potentially photographed kids in the wild, one thing is for certain. Smartschoolboy9 needs to be stopped.
Yeah, he does.
Finding this man and reporting him to law enforcement quickly became the top priority for those investigating the case. And luckily, he left several glaring clues behind that made this process a whole lot easier. On numerous occasions across his many pages, he would post images and videos of specific locations, even showing streets and mentioning very particular areas in his poems, all of which centered around the London area, immediately giving us an idea of where he was located. And that wasn't all. I mentioned how the alias of Stephanie was one that he used more so than any other, but what's interesting is that there was another name used just as often across his accounts, brought up time and time again, though it's a name that he never seemed to call any of his characters. Instead, he simply referred to this person as a stepbrother, or a father, or even a friend from school, despite never actually picturing him, just mentioning his name. David. And sure enough, after connecting a few dots, it would be revealed that this person's actual name was in fact David. David Alter. With a man being 59 years old. At the moment, it doesn't appear that David has any past criminal convictions or documented history of this behavior.
Is he shooting up his own face with silicone filler? Jesus Christ.
Discord, he is currently being investigated by local authorities.
Good!
Which will hopefully put an end to his online behavior.
Oh my God,
and shine
please
some more light
tell
on
me it
who this
will.
person actually is. As for the time being, the only other information that we really know about David is that he likes to write poetry and
was
he
still
makes
around.
music.
I think I hear a running tram. Go back in time, not out of time. I think I like a little lemon.
I rebuke it. I rebuke it. Where's my crystals? Where's my crystals? I need protection. I need amethyst.
Running tram.
And his name also appears in the newspaper, where he's discussing the importance of kids wearing
Oh my
school
God, that was so
uniforms.
scary. I didn't like that at all.
And that's really all we have at the moment. Though there is one very important aspect that we have yet to talk about in relation to this man, with that being David's mental state. Some believe that David is a mentally unwell individual.
He's extremely mentally
doesn't know
unwell.
the extent of what they are doing. Now, even if this is the case,
He
his
knows what
behavior
he's
still needs to
doing.
be
You
stopped,
can be
and he needs
unwell
to be
and know
given
what you're
proper help
doing.
to assure that no one else gets hurt by his actions.
Oh my God.
But it is important to note that David is far more intelligent than he lets on, as his personal accounts show us that
Yeah,
he
don't
is
make
fairly
excuses for
well-spoken
him,
and
y'all.
articulate.
Don't even.
And throughout his problematic content, most of his bad grammar and strange verbiage seems to be his attempts at more authentically trying
to be a kid.
replicate a child. But it's impossible to know for sure.
Fucking weirdo.
But what we do know is that David is extremely manipulative, with his response to this situation and other clues
David
littered
needs
across
to
his
go to
accounts,
prison.
showing us that he seems to know what he's doing, and he knows that it's wrong. Since the exposure of David's accounts, he hasn't silently slithered away like most other predators would. Instead, he's actually responded on more than a few occasions, lashing out to those who have DM'd him, calling them the perverts and predators. He even left a comment on his Joanne account seemingly directed at himself, writing, "You are really sad. And if that's your name, David, be honest with yourself. You're 50, as you said elsewhere. You reply to me, a girl, as if I'm your buddy? No chance ever." This is something David does all the time. It's projection, and it started all the way back at the beginning of
I
this
hate
rabbit
it.
hole.
It's cursed.
So, that's the account run by a man pretending to be a boy.
And he continued posting these
He
predator
sounds like
exposés,
Gypsy
along with
Rose.
other warnings about predators on the internet across every page he made, each of which being hyper-specific to his own predatory ways and fetishes. The things he accuses
my
others
God.
of are blatant projections of his own dark vices.
Yeah,
and
I
I can
would
think of
say
two reasons
so.
why. Number one, that this makes his account look safer to other parents and children. It gives the appearance that he's not another internet creep because he's actively calling them out. It's a way to
Up
to
to
trust
3
in order
times
to
as many
befriend
as they
and exploit
thought.
kids.
You guys, you
And
have
number
a
two,
registry,
he
right?
knows what he's doing is wrong, and this is his bizarre way
Like,
of
don't you have to
self-reporting,
register
probably to make
as
himself
an
feel better
offender
about what he's
and,
doing. And it's obvious
like,
based on just how
tell them
accurate
when
these
you
claims
move every
against
time and,
others
like,
are
you
to
guys
him.
have that,
Does he
right?
wish he were a young boy in a school classroom,
8-year-olds,
looking nice and being
dude.
successful at school? Yes. And these claims are made over and over again. As
Big
each time he
Lebowski,
calls
anybody?
someone out, he's further exposing himself. Which becomes more concerning when you realize that these projections seemingly aren't strictly pedophilic. Within those eerily familiar expose posts he made on TruthSticks11, he mentions how this user not only wanted to exploit children online, but they wanted to kill them as well. As he mentions that this user has a clear interest in cannibalizing kids.
I wish
and
I
even
was.
performing
I could say I was
ritualistic
surprised.
sacrifices on them. And based on how accurate all of the other exposures are
But
to himself,
with all my
I have no reason to
experience
believe
around
that this
people
isn't
like
part of
this,
his MO as
I'm
well.
not
As
surprised at
crazy
all.
as that may sound. This also seems to coincide with some of the content he's posted that I can't show you, as some of these photos show children edited in contorted positions, including some where he's added what appears to be rope to give the illusion that they're tied up. And what makes this even more disturbing is that on his accounts, he's posted numerous photos in the vicinity of schools,
Oh, God.
on nearby secluded trails.
Don't you guys have
and even some where he
a
discusses
registry
what
where they
time
can't live near a
starts
school?
and ends, saying that he likes to be awake and ready for it.
And if they don't register, they go back to
There's
prison.
even photos that show other children outside from a distance, almost as if David was stalking them. This is highly concerning.
Oh my
Even
God.
if we don't know
They
truly
need to do
how low
something
this
about
man's
him.
perversions get, he is
He
still
needs to go to
far too
prison.
close to children, which is perfectly encapsulated by this photo of him on a school playground during the day. And with his disturbing desires, I don't even want to imagine what he's capable of.
No.
Which brings us to the final piece of content
When
that I
people
need to
show you
talk
who they
about.
are, believe them.
Chasing another boy running in heeled mini boots. This was the text
What the fuck you
shown
mean
on screen
chasing?
during a short video posted onto one of David's many accounts. And in the video, we see the man.
Sorry, buddy,
pointing the
if I
camera
saw
at
someone
himself,
chasing my
showing his
kid,
full
they'd get a
face of
9
white
mil to
makeup
him.
and red lipstick.
And I don't miss.
This video is edited more egregiously than any others I've seen across his page, with multiple explicit images and huge emojis covering the majority of the screen. Though just barely enough of the footage can be seen that shows David as he turns the camera around, revealing a young boy.
Oh my God! Leave him alone! I don't think he thinks it's
who
very
he then
funny.
proceeds to chase after, giggling all the while.
Could you imagine? That would be so
Whether this was an
traumatic.
edited video or a real occurrence, we don't currently know.
No.
David's doings are a mystery that will
Could you
take some
imagine
time to
seeing
unravel.
that
And
chasing
my
your
hope is
kid
that law
down? This is
enforcement
why
will be
I
able to
carry.
follow through and help shed some more light on this individual and finally put an end to his twisted behavior. But at this point, only one thing is for sure. The story of Smartschoolboy9 is far from over.
Where is he getting the uniform from? Oh my God. Well, they need to hurry and do something about him because that's a huge problem. That's a huge issue. That is terrifying. That is terrifying. That is so scary. I hate that. I hate it. I hate it. It's cursed. I rebuke it. I hate it. I literally deal with people like this all the time at the prison. Like, you guys have no idea how common this is, especially with like all of the, oh my God, I can't. Nope. Hopefully they do something about that and he goes to prison or at least is away from the general public, like, I don't know, on some kind of offender registry. I don't know how it works over there. I haven't really looked into it. Sorry, guys. I just haven't. I'll see what I can find out after this. But yeah, that was terrifying and I hated it, every minute of it. But it's good to know that this stuff is out there because these people need to be caught. And if they're going to be blatant like this, at the very least, now everybody knows what kind of a fucking creep he is if they didn't already. I'm sure they did. But like now it's more widespread and maybe it'll get the cops to do something about it. Because I'm sure this isn't the first time that people have said something about it to the police. I mean, it's just sometimes there's, other things going on. So hopefully something is done about him. Anyway, guys, so if you liked this video, make sure you like and subscribe and I will see you for my next video. Okay, I love you. Bye.